No, it's really the worst alienation to forget your own principles, to resist the principle, the colonization of the other. You are forgetting yourself, losing yourself in the name of resisting in the name of resistance to the other. I think that this is the worst alienation possible, so we cannot accept it. So out of this, we understand that this is something that we have to work from within. It's not an easy task, but it's essential. The cultural projection, as the female circumcision, and many other things. I will come to this straight now. So what I want to do is just to highlight the fields where we have to work as a priority. The first one, from where I am, is really the discourse, the way we talk about women. I went through the French, English, and of course, mainly the Arabic literature, Islamic literature. And what we have mainly when it comes to women, you will see something which is quite interesting, is 95% of the books are talking about women out of their functions as a wife, as a mother, or as a daughter. But what about women as women? And by the way, it was quite interesting. This is what I was saying to Jan Bruma when we were talking, and he went to the States and he wrote an article about me, and he was saying, Tariq Ramadan is saying that in the West, we speak about women as women, and in Islam, we have to speak about the functions of women, which is exactly the opposite of what I am just saying. So I make it clear here that we need a revolution in our discourse, which is woman as a woman. It's her spirituality, her autonomy, her being before speaking about her function. And it's not by accident. You start speaking about the function of the other and the being of yourself. And this is the way you can just understand that mainly what we had at the beginning is books written by men about women, reading the scriptural sources by men about women. And this is why it's important to have women now, having the knowledge, having the skills, and being willing to deal with the scriptural sources, to deal with the hadith, to deal with the knowledge, the deep roots, and to be able to do this work of reinterpreting some of the interpretations of the past and even directly the text. This is the first challenge, and it's not an easy one. It's an intellectual, scholarly challenge that we have to go through. And then the consequence of this quickly is education. And as we are saying, everywhere in the Islamic Muslim majority countries as well as here, when the women are involved in education, they are doing better than men. By the way, not only in education. So it's quite worrying. But this is the reality. No, that's true. That's true everywhere. In all the figures that we have in the West, they are better. And when I was in Rotterdam, I am working at the local level, I was talking with young girls, they were saying, in fact, the way we were educated pushed us to go to schools to do better than them. They are free at home, lost at school. We are under pressure at home, very committed at school, within the school and the whole process. So there is something which is now coming out of, they are going through a liberating process, which is quite important here. But education is a central thing, and mainly what is happening, for example, in the northern African countries, it's a shame, and we really need to invest in education, religious education, but more than that, all kinds of education to be able to reach social and political positions and intellectual positions as well. And to speak about something which is quite important then, when even it comes to family, we have to stop. We had a discussion recently with the European Muslim Network. We were in Oslo last week, and we now are tackling the issue of family, and this is something which is quite important. If you speak about family in the Muslim mindset today, family is the center of the family, is women, is the wife, is the mother, while the crisis within the Muslim families today, as well as in all the Western families, is the syndrome of the absent father. It's a deep problem. It's a deep problem. We have fatherhood is not easy to be a father, by the way. That's true. It's not an easy way. And then, you know, when you are coming with the cultures of origin, with this sense of she is the center, I am the authority, and you find yourself having less authority and not knowing where is the center, This is to redefine what is a family, in which way we have. So it's not, by the way, it's not only a Muslim business, but Muslims are at the center of this discussion. It's an important discussion. So the way you have to deal with the whole dimension and the family per se is something which is central. And here, to be able to say freedom, autonomy, from the 7th century, since the 7th century, what we had in Islam is that a woman who gets married keeps her name. Whatever she has as money is hers. He cannot say anything about her money. There is something which is an ontological autonomy. And we are losing this within the way we are dealing through cultural understanding, projection, or redaction. It's not acceptable. So we have to reassess all this, which is quite important. And then it comes about marriages as well. So, for example, the people are speaking, no, I'm speaking about Africa, but even here, when it comes to polygamy or things like this, when we also have to educate, even though someone would say, oh, it's possible, even though for me now, today, in all the framework and our understanding, it's something that we have to say, it's not possible, it's not implementable at the level of justice required by Islam. But even if you go for this, you have to tell the woman, you have to tell the first wife, you have to tell one that it's a contract, marriage is a contract in Islam, that she has the right to say, no, there is no polygamy between you and me. No, she can say this as the first wife. So even though if you go for it, she has rights that she has to know out of education. But it's not enough. We have a great deal of work to do with the men here, because some of our brothers in Islam here are using Islam when it suits them. You know, they're using the authority of the text to, you know, to rely on it to be able to get some authority when they are dealing with family matters. And we are launching we have been launching 3 weeks ago a European campaign against forced marriages. Not only to say, oh, you know, as Muslims, no, it's anti-Islamic. You cannot marry a girl or a boy without his or her agreement. No. So, you know, these kind of explicit discourses from the beginning. Domestic violence, no. Female circumcision, no. Forced marriages, no. Honor crimes, no. Lots of no to open up lots of other yes, as to autonomy, as to being, you know, free, as to find your way. The fourth thing, very quickly, because I have to end. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time. So 3 minutes, I'm ending. The fourth field is really to work on equality and the job market. And this is why, you know, when I was asked about, you know, feminism, I am in the movement. I am in this process, saying, for example, when you work, the same skills, the same competences, the same salary. No discussion. The one who is telling you you can get 70%, this is wrong. So this has also to be promoted as something which is access to the job market, same salaries for the same skills, no discriminations accepted on this, and this is something which is quite important, as well as anything which has to do with sexuality, anything which has to do with autonomy on that this has to be also protected.